In this video I'm going to talk about festivals. You might get asked about festivals in part 1 or part 2, so this video will be useful for both part 1 and part 2. Describe the main festivals celebrated in your country. There are quite a few festivals which are celebrated in my country, and the major ones are Christmas, New Year and Easter. The main one out of these is Christmas, and it is renowned for being a day filled with food, fun and presents. New Year is popular with the younger generation, and is a time when parties are held to celebrate the new year. Finally, Easter, which is a festival commemorating the resurrection of Christ, is a 4-day weekend in which gargantuan amounts of chocolate are consumed. There are quite a few festivals which it helps if you start your answer like this, because it helps it give it some organisation, and it reminds you to talk about more than one thing. Remember, the more you say, the more chance you have of getting a better grade. Are celebrated. IELTS examiners are listening for a range of vocabulary, so the passive is one that is going to add to your grammatical range. If you do not know how to use the passive, make sure you study it before your IELTS exam, as it will help you to get a high grammar grade. The major ones. Instead of repeating the main festivals from the question, referencing has been used here, referring back to those main festivals by saying the major ones. The main one out of these. This again is an example of referencing, referring back to something which has already been said. There is no need to repeat the word festivals here. Is renowned for being. This means is famous for being, but is a bit more complex because it's less commonly used. If you use renowned for followed by a verb, remember to put it into the ing form. The younger generation. It's highly likely that in writing and speaking you're going to be talking about people. You need a good range of vocabulary to talk about people, so make sure you know phrases such as the younger generation. Are held. This is another example of the passive being used correctly. Finally, by using this word, it indicates to the examiner that it's the last thing you're going to say, and it allows them to get ready to ask you the next question. Commemorating. This means to remember something or someone in an official way. Resurrection. The act of bringing something that had disappeared or ended back into use or existence. The rebirth of Christ in this case. Gargantuan. This is a great word, and it means huge, very large. Are consumed. So it's another example of the passive, but instead of saying are eaten, a more complex verb, to consume, has been used. What do you like about these festivals? There are numerous things I love about such occasions. However, the major thing would have to be the food. I know I should probably say it is a time when families come together, but I'm a food lover and a chocoholic. Therefore, for me, the main attraction is definitely the food. It is a wonderful opportunity to pig out and eat loads of not necessarily nutritious, but tasty food. Again, this answer has been started with there are numerous things, so it's a way of organising your answer and trying to remind yourself to say more than one thing. Such occasions. This is another example of referencing, referring back to these festivals. However, this is a discourse marker, a linking word, and this one indicates to the listener which direction you're going, and they're crucial if you want to get a good mark for organisation. The major thing. This means the main thing. I should good use of modal plus infinitive here. I should probably say. A food lover, a person who loves food. A chocoholic, this is a great word. A bit like an alcoholic is somebody who is addicted to alcohol. We use this in a more fun way to mean someone who's addicted to chocolate. Therefore, another example of a discourse marker. The main attraction. Instead of saying the main thing, this makes it sound more complex. To pig out, this is a very informal expression, but it's great in IELTS speaking, and it means to eat loads or to eat too much. Not necessarily is a figure of speech to dispute a statement without having to explain why. It's not necessarily good, but I like it. Nutritious means it contains lots of nutrition, a lot of the substances needed for life and growth. So it's got lots of vitamins and minerals, for example. And tasty, it's delicious. Have these festivals changed much over recent years? I guess the key change is that they have become less about religion and more about families regrouping and spending time together. Our lives are so busy nowadays, and we're all rushing around like headless chickens for most of the year, so it does provide a great opportunity for people to get together and spend time with their loved ones. I guess many IELTS candidates start their answers with "I think." This is not going to impress the IELTS examiner. So find other expressions such as "I guess," "I suppose," "I reckon." The key change. Key is like major and is much better than saying main. Regrouping. This is about becoming a group again. We say things like "we need to regroup," means kind of get the group back together. To rush around like headless chickens. This is an idiomatic expression, and it can be used in speaking but not in writing. And it means to be rushing about, to be very busy, doing lots of things that are not necessarily effective, but you're rushing about doing a lot of things. It does provide. This is an example of the present simple being used, but instead of the S on the end of provides, it provides. It does provide is kind of really making it stronger. Their loved ones. This is a way of saying their family, but it's a much more informal way of saying it. Do you think they will change much in the future? I suppose in the near future they will continue to become less about religion, but who knows in the distant future, because as a society we are becoming so work obsessed they might even disappear. Personally, I believe that would be a shame, because I look forward to all our festivals and feel that we need them to stay sane. As in the last question, I suppose is a better way of saying I think in IELTS speaking. When we're talking about in the future, we can divide it into soon and not so soon. So in the near future is soon, and in the distant future is not soon. Who knows? This is an example of a rhetorical question, asked to show that the person is asking it but doesn't know the answer. We are becoming good use of present continuous to show that this is a process that's happening and isn't yet finished. Work obsessed. We're unable to stop thinking about work. Personally, I believe, again, instead of saying I think, we could say this phrase, personally, I believe. That would be a shame. This means that would be a disappointing thing. It would be a pity. We need them to stay sane. This means to stop going crazy. After watching this video, make sure that you do the quiz to check that you have learnt some of the vocabulary in this unit. Thanks for watching.